invited me down here to do a foam rolling clinic this evening. So thank you all for coming. You've been up with Thursday evening. Come hang out for a little bit and learn how to foam roll. Who's foam rolled before? Yes. Good. All right. So, what we're actually doing when we're foam rolling is we're actually lengthening the connective tissue that runs through our muscles. All the muscles are surrounded by a tissue called fascia. It's very thin, it's like a saran wrap. And the nerves and blood vessels run through it, not to it. So when it distorts, it puts pressure on the nerves and blood vessels and that alters muscle function. So what we do by foam rolling is we lengthen the connective tissue. That helps the muscles work more efficiently, because a longer muscle will work more efficiently than a shorter, tight and weakened muscle. Okay? So, we're going to do an entire body roll. It's quite a workout. I dressed more comfortably than I did last time I came and did this, because after about 5 years I was like, oh my goodness. So I hope you don't mind my slightly unprofessional attire. Alright, so, what we're going to do, actually, usually a good question I get as well, I'll answer it now, is like, when's a good time to foam roll? Ideally, after exercise is a great time to foam roll, because your muscles are already warm, so then when you're foam rolling, you're rolling more muscles. And what it also does is it actually helps to reduce the lactic acid buildup in your muscles as well, so it aids recovery. Alright, so what we're going to do first, we're going to roll our quads. They're the large muscles on the front of the thigh, so I want you just to put the foam roller in front of your knees like this, and then you're going to come up onto the roller like this. And then we're just going to, with our feet pointing straight down, we're just going to roll from our knees up to our hips. And back down. Okay? Now you're going to want to do, the slower you roll, the more effective it is. Usually, the first few times people get foam rolls that. But I tell you, the more you foam roll, the less uncomfortable it becomes. So you want to aim to do 6 good rolls. Each of the positions we're going to be in tonight, we'll talk about 6 rolls quite a bit. And one roll is basically down and up. Okay? How's that feeling?
Great.
Pretty good. Alright, the quads are a pretty large muscle group, so when we've done those 6 rolls with our feet pointing straight down, we're going to turn them out and do 6 more. And what that actually does is when you change your foot position, it actually starts to roll up more the inner quad. Yeah, we're going to do 6 rolls. Now, when you're rolling, you may find particularly tight spots sometimes in the muscles. When you do find those spots, what you can do is just grab a roller. Is just hang out on those tight spots. What you're actually doing then is putting pressure on the muscle itself. And the muscle cannot sustain the contraction and resist the pressure, so eventually it has to relax. How's that feeling with the feet out?
Great.
Awesome, isn't it? It's awesome. That's right. That's all I like to hear. So when you've done 6 like that, then you're going to point your toes in, so they're facing each other, and then you're going to do your 5 or 6 rolls on the quad.
Do they have to touch or just facing?
As long as they're pointing inwards, because basically by rotating the feet in, you get to the outer quad, which is usually everybody's favourite. Again, 6 good rolls. Like that. The analogy I always use is get towards Christmas time now, get your crooked dough out, you get your rolling pin out, and you roll it. It starts like this tangled mass of goo and ends up nice and uniform and thin. That's basically what you're doing with the foam roller to the connective tissue through your muscles. Alright, so as as we're facing forward, we're now going to work on this muscle right here. It's called the tibialis anterior. It's a grid test at the end, by the way. And it's the muscle that picks your foot up. Okay? So there's two ways you can do it. The first one is you can get yourself a little tripod here and just put your lower leg on the roller and roll it like that with your foot pointing in. Okay? Like that. If you've rolled before and you can take it and you want a little bit more pressure, you can put the other leg over the top of the first leg, and that just helps to put a little bit more pressure on. But your foot's going to be pointed in because you're trying to roll this muscle here down the front part of your leg. The important thing about this muscle is it's very hard to stretch because of where it is and what it does. It actually picks the foot up. So this is a really, really, really important roll. If you do a lot of running, it really helps. Not really, I can see a few people going, alright, so how many rolls are we going to do?
6.
Good, that's it, excellent. And of course we have 2 legs, so we're going to do both sides. Again, just to reduce the pressure, you can just use your other leg to support most of your body weight and your hands, or you can use both legs. Okay, so now we're just going to move into the inner thigh. We're going to roll down the inside of the thigh. Okay, so you can again be on your knees, and you want to point the roll around away from the side you're going to roll at about a 45-degree angle. I mean, we're going through this, it's going to take obviously quite a little bit longer than it would be if you were at home with your own foam roller doing it at home. You know, to do a whole body roll usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. You know, once you're getting down and getting on. Okay? All right. I like that thumbs up. Fantastic. All right. So now we're going to do the outside of the thigh. So I'm just going to move my mat around a little bit so everybody can see. Now, this is the IT band runs down the outside of your thigh. Again, if you're a runner, you know all about that. But it also goes across the top of the lateral quad, because the lateral quad, the outer quad, runs all the way around your outer leg, and that's the largest muscle in the quad. So to do this, there are 2 ways of doing it.
That's on my side.
So we're going to be on this roller with the roller on. So it's on your upper leg, about the middle part. Let's talk about this first because this is really, really, really important. As you're rolling up towards your hips, you'll feel your femur bone, which is the outer part of your main leg bone. You don't want to roll over that. As you How's that feel?
Awesome.
Again, we're going to finish off at the top. And again, sometimes you'll find to get the TFL is a little muscle. It's a hard muscle to stretch. So it's going to maybe a little tight there. Just hang out on that area. Just wait until that goes through discomfort.